field. What has happened to Joe Turney? Is he going to be out of this race? Well, no, he's got himself back up to speed again. So Joe Turney has fallen to the back of the queue. Incredible drama here in this race. He's trying to get up to speed. What has happened to Joe Turney in this race? I think he's going to be out of it. Joe Turney is trying to get his kart going. He did have a breakdown this morning in the warm-up, but that was when the chain came off. They're going around again, of course. But this is incredibly dramatic circumstances because the man who should be on pole position, Joe Turney, appears to be trying to recover his weekend. He's breaking down. Joe Turney is not going to be able to take up the start of this final. So it's going to be Kimber alone on the front of the grid from Porter and Van Spunteren, Olsen and Morin, Butcher and Brown Nutley, Curl and Pico, Hansheim and Cananini, Degenbeck and Hijawi, Calioni and Lanticanto, Fritsch and van der Westerlaken, Steenman and Leroux, Kosseteng and Trager, Henningen and Genem, Valtonen, Barlow, Ravenscroft, Treffs, Morsdale, Kuhlen, Van Pelt and Byatt. But incredibly, it seems to me that we are not going to get a start from Joe Turney. Joe Turney is out, helmet off, out of the kart. This is incredibly dramatic stuff. The pole sitter has broken down before the race has even got started. You can't get more dramatic than that for the start of the race. It's agony for his KR Sport Mechanics. That is a certain chance of a victory gone. So now it's all about the remainder of this battle with Morgan Porter now on the inside line and effectively with a chance to grab a victory. Lights out, let's race. Porter is your leader initially, but Kimber's going to try and sweep. Oh, there's a spin in the middle of the pack. And a couple of karts have gone into the barrier. One of them is the 237. Now that, of course, is a big shot already on the run to that first corner. That's Vivalda van der Westerlaken who's gone in, and it looks as though Isaac Valtonen has as well. 2 or 3 other karts involved, but Isaac Valtonen out of the race very early doors. So a very dramatic start to this race, and we've got another spin. That's up at turn 5. So we've had a spin at 5, and the kart has got going again. Now who is that that's gone? That appears to be Sean Butcher. Sean Butcher spun it up at turn 5, and he's now a long way down the order. So the leader of the race after all of that is Joey Van Spunteren. Van Spunteren is suddenly leading the race. Well, that's amazing. Van Spunteren is your leader. Porter in second. Kimber is third from Matilda Olsen. Then it's Hansheim, Cananini, Pico, Brown Nutley, Hans Morin, Leonardo Calioni from Degenbeck, Fritsch, Hijawi and Clayton Ravenscroft up to 14th already. My goodness, he's charging through the field. So Kimber's trying to hang on in front of Morgan Porter. Matilda Olsen is right there in 4th position despite her broken knee, and she is right there in the top 4. Could she get the podium today? It's looking more and more likely as the day goes on. But she's got to do the hard work. She's got a bit of a gap between herself and Xavier Hansheim and Danny Cananini, who are battling away over 5th position. Up the inside goes Cananini. Makes the move on Xavier Hansheim. So Cananini, the Italian, through into 5th position as they go down through the final hairpin and complete the second lap. But what an amazing turn of events this has turned out to be in the X30 Seniors at Wackersdorf. Wackersdorf in Germany. Amazing circuit this. Brilliant facility. But Joey Van Spunteren is your race leader in the Senior X30 final. From Mark Kimber, Morgan Porter and Matilda Olsen, with Joe Turney unable to take up the start of the race due to a mechanical problem before the race even started. Absolutely appalling luck for Joe Turney. No luck at all from the man who's taken the victory in the pre-final. So now it is time to see how this race unfolds. From Joey Van Spunteren in the lead, Kimber second, Porter third, Olsen fourth. 5th is Cananini, and 6th is Hansheim. 7th position now is Nicolas Pico from Brown Nutley, Morin, Calioni, Degenbeck and Ravenscroft up to 12th position. How does he do this? Every single time Ravenscroft is in a bind, he just somehow finds a way of charging through the field and making up lost ground as if it's nothing. He's up to 12th place already. This is only lap 4 of 19. He's still got plenty of time to move up through the field. And once again, being Clayton Ravenscroft, he is getting on with it. I'm just trying to count up where he is now. He's 10th. I don't believe it. Up into 10th position. Ravenscroft still going through the field like lightning. But the top 6 are now well evenly spread. Van Spunteren leads Kimber. Porter in 3rd place. Olsen in 4th. fifth is Canonini. I'm really impressed with Danny Canonini today. His first weekend in the championship in 2018, and Danny Canonini is right up in the top 5 on merit. The Italian doing an absolutely brilliant job, and now gaining ground on Matilda Olsen as they come down the main straight. Van Splunteren, though, has been gift-wrapped the lead of this race. He certainly hasn't got the victory yet, but a lot of people have been rating Van Splunteren very highly indeed. People were tapping me on the shoulder at Marienborg and saying, watch Van Splunteren, he can win any race you give him the lead of. Well, he's been given the lead of this one, and now he is out in front. Fastest lap of the race, Clayton Ravenscroft, a 50.487, sees him on the back now of Hans Morin. And he is trying to make his way through into 9th position, and he's got company. He's already got past Hans Morin, by the way, actually. Oh, no, he's not. That is that's Hans Morin making his way up the inside of Nicolas Pico, who again is struggling. Jordan Brown-Nutley's got through, and now Hans Morin has got through. So the next target is going to be Clayton Ravenscroft as he makes his way towards 9th place. Still great battles in the Senior X30 field in the early stages, but Van Splunteren leads Kimber, Morgan Porter, Matilda Olsen, and Danny Canonini, with Hansheim in 6th. 7th place is Brown-Nutley from Morin, Pico and Ravenscroft. Ravenscroft trying to close up, but he's inside the top 10. This is an absolutely amazing demonstration in how to save your bacon from Clayton Ravenscroft. The changing fortunes of the 2 KR Sport drivers from Great Britain, absolutely astonishing. Turney from pole to the drink, whereas Clayton Ravenscroft up from 25th on the grid to 10th in just 5 laps. Absolutely amazing. But up front, this man, Joey Van Splunteren, flying the flag for the Netherlands in the lead of the race and doing an absolutely fantastic job with it. Really exciting performance here from Joey. He's got a brilliant opportunity to turn this into something pretty special now, but Mark Kimber is reeling him in. Mark Kimber wants to get the victory away from him, and in this last race of the weekend, the last race for Senior X30, he may get a good chance as he tightens up the wick on Joey Van Splunteren. Meanwhile, Matilda Olsen in 4th position is under some pressure from the Italian Danny Canonini, who's on a bit of a bandwagon at the moment. Clayton Ravenscroft, by the way, has got himself into 9th place now, past Nicolas Pico. He must have done that into turn 2. So Clayton Ravenscroft's next victim is going to be Hans Morin, and he really is picking them off like raisins at the moment. It's going to be Jordan Brown-Nutley, in fact, because Hans Morin's got past Jordan Brown-Nutley, and now so too is Clayton Ravenscroft. Up into 8th place goes the 259, the championship leader. But Mark Kimber is the man who's about to put himself into a very strong position for the championship. He's in 2nd place behind the man in the lead, Joey Van Splunteren. On dropped scores, it's looking likely that Mark Kimber would take the lead of the championship if it stays like this, unless he can find a way past the Dutchman, and he is very close to him now. And it looks to me as though Danny Canonini has got into 4th place. Yes, Canonini has moved into 4th place. The Italian has got Matilda Olsen. So Olsen is still there in 5th place, and she's got to deal with Xavier Hansheim, the Belgian, who is hot on her heels at the moment. So Van Splunteren and Kimber now dueling for the lead of the race. Morgan Porter is poised to stay in position in 3rd for the moment, but if these two get into the battle, Kimber's going up the inside of the hairpin, and Kimber takes the lead. Mark Kimber leads at Wackersdorf. So he took a heat victory yesterday, and now that he's in the lead, it looks as though it could be fine and dandy for Mark Kimber. He's about to play the slow game, isn't he? I can sense it. This is going to end up, if he stays where he is, 3 wins and a second on drop scores. That would put him in the lead of the championship. Joey Van Splunteren through the first corner on the back of Mark Kimber. It's not done yet by any means. Morgan Porter's in 3rd. Danny Canonini is in 4th. 5th is Matilda Olsen, and 6th is Xavier Hansheim. 7th is Clayton Ravenscroft. Watch out, guys. He's coming. Lap 9 of 19. We're approaching the half-distance mark. This is going to be a tough battle, and who knows just how far up the field Clayton Ravenscroft can get. On dropped scores, it's fair to say that Kimber's going to take the lead of the championship if it stays like this. Not in total points, but certainly if he can drop the pre-final and final from Marienborg. If he were to drop his worst scores, then he would take the lead of the championship if it stays like this with 3 wins and a second. But it's not done yet, and Joey Van Splunteren has definitely not thrown in the towel as things currently stand. Into that first corner. Beautiful line there from Mark Kimber. Joey Van Splunteren in behind him, still very close, but Morgan Porter is catching them both. Porter has been keeping an eye on his tyres through this race and is looking after them beautifully as he now remains in 3rd place. There's Canonini and Matilda Olsen in 5th position Incredible that she is the 5th kart in the field, Matilda Olsen, and she's been walking around all weekend on crutches. She is that strong this weekend. Nobody is going to take away a top 6 finish from her this time. Into the hairpin once again, and up the far side of the straight. Mark Kimber hanging on in front of Joey van Spunteren, with third place Morgan Porter reading them both in. So Porter has just been biding his time. He's been a cautious driver in the first phase of the race. 10 down, 9 to go, and with 9 laps left, it is Morgan Porter who is on the move now, closing up on our 2 leaders, certainly gaining ground on Joey van Spunteren. There's an absolutely terrific squabble further back down the order as drivers all the way down from Ruben Moya backwards are having an amazing squabble. That's for 14th position, and there's contact at turn 2 from 2 of the drivers, and I think it's Dan Steenman who's ended up coming off worse in the battle with I think it's Leonardo Caglione. He's ended up tagging there as they go through turn 2. I'm not clear on that one, and I'm certainly not sure, so we'll leave that one as it is for the moment. But Mark Kimber leads the way. Joey van Spunteren still second, from Morgan Porter in third. Fourth is Danny Cadanini, the Italian, in his first weekend in the championship in 2018. And a great run from the Italian. Matilda Olsen is still in the top 5. Running well for Sweden in 5th position, the Strawberry Racing driver. There's 1 in the lead and there's 1 in 5th place. Hansheim in 6th, Ravenscroft catching in 7th place. And it's not going to be long before he's through. In fact, Ravenscroft is through. Look back, and he's into 6th position. You'll see him in the background as Kimber van Spunteren. 3rd position is Morgan Porter. Look back, there's Ravenscroft. Look at them, up into 6th position, 1 behind Matilda Olsen. He started this race in 25th, and the championship leader is absolutely determined that he's not going to lose the lead of the title race today. Right up into the top 6, now onto the back of Matilda Olsen. Can Ravenscroft get into the top 5? That would really save his bacon championship-wise. And here is an opportunity now for Joey van Spunteren to get back on terms with Mark Kimber. Great battling all the way through the field. And still, Ravenscroft working well. He's got past Matilda Olsen. So up into 5th place goes Ravenscroft, but it looks like we're still going to get 2 female drivers in the top 6 today after Alicia Barrett's fantastic run in the Junior X30 to get into the top 5. Matilda Olsen's going to return the favour by running in the top 6. So Danny Cadanini is the next target for Clayton Ravenscroft if he can get into 4th place. Ravenscroft just looks absolutely composed here. He could even make the podium. He's got time, you know. There's 6.5 laps to go. He has got time to catch up to the podium runners. So a good battle. Still going strong for Kimber. No major problems for van Spunteren. 3rd place for Morgan Porter. 4th for Cadanini. 5th is Ravenscroft, and 6th is Matilda Olsen. And still they march on. Morgan Porter getting on with this very carefully indeed. He does not want to push the car too far. Ravenscroft is into 4th place. How has he done this so quickly? He's in P4 now. Absolutely amazing. But Ravenscroft fights his way all the way through from 25th on the grid. In fact, no, 27th on the grid. My apologies. Through to P4. Astonishing progress from Clayton Ravenscroft. Up 23 places in 13 laps. That is phenomenal. This guy is a powerhouse. Kimber is your leader. Van Spunteren in 2nd place. 3rd is now Morgan Porter. 4th is Ravenscroft. 5th is Cadanini. 6th now, that is Hans Morin. Hans Morin has come through past Matilda Olsen. So Morin is into 6th place from Olsen, then Xavier Hansheim. But a really good battle between those 3 as they continue on, the 2 Swedes and the Belgian. Now Rens van Pelt seems to be in the wars. He's been given a warning flag for something. Not entirely sure what it is. Still only 2 retirements from this race, namely Joe Turney, who barely started, and Isaac Valtonen, who retired at that first corner incident. But the leaders are coming through once more. Kimber van Spunteren and Porter, they're a lot closer to each other than they have been. And it looks like Manaf Ijawi has now been given a warning from the stewards. Not sure what that's for. Is that track limits or a little bit too close a jostling? We're not sure. But as they come across the line at the end of lap 15, the top 3 are close together. Ravenscroft trying to catch them. But it's Kimber van Spunteren and Porter. Then it's Ravenscroft, Cadanini, Morin, Olsen, Hansheim. Then it is Nicolas Pico in front of Jordan Brown-Nutley. Valentino Fritsch has climbed his way to 11th from Lintucanto, Diegenbeck, and then this incredibly titanic scrap for 14th place, led at the moment by Ruben Moya and Owen Byatt, who have come up from the very back of the grid. Then it's Sean Butcher behind Danny Curl. Then Manif Vijawi, Rivaldo van der Westerleken and Niels Kuhlen from Mulsdale, Trager, Trevs, LaRue, Ganem, Steenman, Kosseteng, Heronen, Barlow and Calioni from Rens van Pelt, who's retired the kart. So Rens van Pelt is out of the race. 30 karts still going of the 33 that started it. But what an absolutely fantastic run this is from Mark Kimber. And this will put him back into contention for the championship. On dropped scores, he would be leading, not in total, but certainly on dropped scores. It would be Mark Kimber leading the championship fight to Castelletto with 3 wins and a second if it stays like this. Morgan Porter looks as though he's going to get into the battle with Joey van Splinteren before this race is done. And Danny Curl has now been given a warning. That is very unusual. But Danny Curl desperately trying to make progress. And the reigning world champion, Danny Curl, really struggling at the moment today. And does Mark Kimber look like he's getting a little bit tired there? I thought the way he threw that kart into the right-hander at the S's was just a little bit wayward. But at the moment, Mark Kimber is doing a fine job. Joey van Splinteren still second. Morgan Porter still third. Then it's Ravenscroft. Danny Cannonini has been passed by Hans Morin. Hans Morin is stepping up to the plate now. The Swede is doing a fantastic performance. So Morin is up to 5th in front of Cannonini. Matilda Olsen 7th. And in 8th place, it is Xavier Hansheim. Nicolas Pico and Jordan Brown-Nutley going well. So off the turn they come. Dropping down the hill. This is a good run from Mark Kimber. He's getting clear of Joey van Splinteren with 2 laps to go. But Morgan Porter may still have a point to prove here. And he's trying to get himself into second position. What a fantastic race this has been, but it looks as though this man, Mark Kimber, is going to get himself into pole position for a title run at Castelletto in 4 weeks' time. And what a performance it has been. It's been an incredible comeback for the Strawberry Racing driver after Marienborg, where he failed to make it into the A final through to having to miss the Friday testing and qualifying due to his exams. That had to take priority, of course, but into the final lap. And Mark Kimber is going to go to Castelletto with 3 wins and a second place in the bank on dropped scores. That would mean he would lead the championship, as it looks to me as though Rashid Ghanem has retired on the penultimate lap of the race up at turn 4. So Ghanem is out, yellow flags waving there. And Van Splinteren looks like he's held off the attentions of Morgan Porter on this last lap. Clayton Ravenscroft is not going to catch them, but 4th position is one heck of a comeback. But the man out front, Mark Kimber, suddenly emerges after a grisly, dismal Marienborg, has come straight back to his best. 3 wins and a second as he leaves Wackersdorf. At Castelletto, if he keeps that kind of pace, he could be the champion. Out of the final turn, and Mark Kimber is victorious at Wackersdorf. He is delighted with that. What a performance, what a drive, what a hero. Mark Kimber is back. Joey van Splinteren in second place for Morgan Porter. Clayton Ravenscroft storms the Crows to 4th position. What a drive. 5th place for Hans Morin, 6th for Danny Cannonini, 7th is Matilda Olsen. Fair play to her. Having walked around all weekend on crutches, a top 10 finish is spectacular. 8th place for Xavier Hansheim, 9th for Nicolas Pico, and 10th place for Jordan Brown-Nutley. But Mark Kimber is back here at Wackersdorf. He takes the win from Joey van Splinteren and Morgan Porter. Ravenscroft in 4th place from Hans Morin and Danny Cannonini. Matilda Olsen is 7th from Xavier Hansheim and Nicolas Pico. Jordan Brown-Nutley is 10th from the local man Valentino Fritsch. And then Levi Luntecanto ahead of Patrick Degenbeck. Ruben Moyer and Owen Byatt ahead of Sean Butcher. Danny Curl down in 17th this time. Rivaldo van der Westerleken and Manaf Hijawi. Angus Mulsdale and Niels Kuhlen. Dan Steenman and Eduardo Kosseteng. From Tony Harainen, Daniel Trager, Harry Barlow, his first A final, Luca Trevs, Leonardo Calioni, and then, of course, our retirements. We had Roman LaRue, Rashid Ghanem, Rens van Pelt, Isaac Valtonen, and, of course, the man who never even started, Joe Turney. This championship fight is going down to the wire at Castelletto, and what a